Well, Jennifer, thank you for having me on, and I'll say that we are up against a deadline on government spending, and the most, I think, critical part of this for me is that we don't have a government shutdown. That is a road to nowhere. It doesn't help anybody, and it actually hurts a lot of people. So I think what you're going to see this week, the March 1st, March 8th dates are the deadlines, will probably be moved back while we consider our bills. But it didn't have to be this way. We passed appropriations bills in July. We passed some across the floor in November. Honestly, Senator Schumer had the option to put them up for our consideration and chose not to do that. Therefore, we're squeezed up against this deadline again. But hopefully we will not be shutting the government down. We cannot do that, and we'll move forward and do our spending bills here in the next week or two. Well, I'm very frustrated by it because we did our work in the Appropriations Committee in July. It was complete. All 12 bills out. My health, education, and labor bill was out with very little opposition and actually great bipartisan cooperation, which means when we get to the Senate floor, we can actually pass this and get the process moving. But Senator Schumer, who is the leader in the Senate, refused to put these bills up except for 3. So this is where we end up. We end up with unsettled futures, a lack of priorities, new programs can't start, and old programs can't be defunded under this situation. So I'm very, very frustrated because we did do our work, and in July we were ready to begin, and yet we've been frustrated by the leadership who really hasn't put these bills up. So hopefully they'll come up in the next several weeks and we'll be able to reconsider them. Well, the border security issue is critical. I've been talking about this for 3 years since President Biden came forward with basically a catch and release program. He's been cycling through now over 9 million illegal immigrants into this country. We don't know who they are, where they're from. Many of them are not from Southern and Central America. They're from China and other places. There are people on the terrorist watch list that are getting stopped. And now we see with this tragedy in Georgia and losing the life of a young woman who was out for a jog at the University of Georgia campus, her life was extinguished. And the person arrested is an illegal immigrant that came in from Venezuela 2 years ago. And he also was arrested on another charge. I mean, we cannot keep our communities safe. The president and really Secretary Mayorkas has made our cities, our sanctuary cities and other cities very unsafe. In West Virginia, we see the flow of fentanyl just pouring into our state, killing our young people. I mean, I think that this lays right at the feet of Secretary Mayorkas and President Biden. You know, here's my frustration. The president's been president for over 3 years. Why is he now going to the border? This problem, we had last December 300,000 people, 10,000 a day. I mean, think about that in the context of West Virginia. That's just unfathomable to see. In a week, you would have the whole city of Charleston coming across our southern border. And so now the president's decided he's going to go. I hadn't heard his health issue. I hope he's all right. Certainly that from a human standpoint, I want the president to be in good health. And so I am concerned about that. But I'll tell you what, nothing's going to change. He has it within his abilities to do executive orders just like President Trump did. He could do remain in Mexico. He can do removal procedures much more quickly. He can do this at the president's direction. He has been using parole, which is what that person who allegedly killed the jogger in Lake and Riley in Georgia was in on a parole that is the option of the president. He could have stopped this. He can stop this. So I hope he goes to the border, and I hope he puts executive orders in to stop this. Well, we're always moving forward on, we're doing a big water bill, which actually is very impactful to West Virginia because it's the commerce going down the Ohio River, the Kanawha River. It moves a lot of our product, and those are important infrastructure issues. We're moving forward on broadband. The money is getting ready to come into West Virginia that's going to, I think, connect every home, every business. I've talked about this now since I've been in the Senate many, many times. So there's always something with my health obligations on the health subcommittee. Certainly we're going to be having a visit from NIH, which is critically important for a lot of chronic diseases that we have in West Virginia. So our plate's always full here, I'll say that.